It's another one by the Bling baby. All right, so today I'm doing a custom mirror. It's from Fenty Beauty. All right, so my glue of choice today is this 2-part epoxy kit from Supertite. I'm adding that Shimmering Sands little bow Genji glitter. I like to mix glitter with my epoxy because it adds that extra spice. Most likely you're gonna have some gaps on your project. That is normal, and it's okay. But the glitter just kind of adds that little extra spice like I mentioned earlier, and it is optional. I decided to go in with a scatter pattern. Ironically, I wasn't really a scatter girl when I started. I was more into honeycomb, but it's been growing on me lately because you can get really good coverage with scatter. For scatter, you're gonna need a minimum of 3 sizes. However, for me, on this project, I decided to use 5 different sizes here. I have some smaller stones because they help with the coverage, really tight spaces, but it's totally up to you, and I'll list them below, all the sizes that I used in the color. This is actually a color I haven't used before. It's a mix of Glass Silk Light and Golden Shadow. And I've never used them before, but I think they're really pretty, and I think they complemented this project really well. And with this glue, I have around 2 hours of working time, which is perfect. Let's say you got kids, you got stuff to do, you have a lot of time to work with. With some epoxies, people struggle with the time and they feel like they have to rush, which you kind of do with some of them. There's like 5-minute ones, there's 15-minute ones, 30 minutes, but this one is nice because you can take your time. And not to mention, it's pretty durable. I actually have a clip of me dropping one of the mirrors that I did when I was testing out this formula, and I will insert that here. Hey Audrey, why would you do that? Because I want to know what will happen if this scenario happens with one of my customers. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So you doing your research ahead of time and just testing out the glues and trying them out, trying them on your own things first, that'll help you a lot because then you'll know and you'll have the experience of it. Mirrors can get dropped, so it's just good to know. But regardless, at the end of the day, things happen that are out of our control, and people may lose a stone or two on their items, and you don't need to beat yourself up over that, because if it happens, you can send a repair kit or repair it for them. It just depends, on what you want to do or what the customer wants to do. Checking for durability is a big one for me. So here I'm just adding more glue, and you'll see a little bit later how it will level out and even out. Here I'm using a silicone nail tool. These are really nice because you can reuse them lots and lots of times. I used to use disposable lip gloss applicators, but I went through so many of them, so this is a nice alternative to that. But either way, do whatever works best for you. Okay, so I like to outline the edges because that kind of sets the guideline. And you can either do one size around the edge, or you can kind of mix it up and continue the scatter around the edge. I decided to do the scatter around the edge because I feel like it looks pretty good like that. But like I said, that's personal preference. There aren't really any rules to this art other than making sure that you're using the correct glue for your projects. You do need patience. You do need to work in a ventilated area. Everybody will respond to glues differently. It doesn't really matter. Like, even if I'm working with the glue I like, you may have a reaction to it. So always read the instructions. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. If the glue is toxic, you're gonna need to take precautions like wearing a mask, having a window wide open, keeping your pets and your children away from you if you have them. So that's why I always say, always read the instructions, look over them, see what's in them, go over the safety data sheets. There's all the information out here. And just in general, if you don't like how something smells or it just doesn't work for you, there's always another option for you. And with epoxy glues, I would recommend wearing gloves. I know some people can develop allergies over time, and I just don't want that for any of you guys. I want people to be safe. I like wearing gloves, but I know not everybody does. I also feel like scatter takes a really long time to do. I feel like I am always overthinking my placement of the rhinestone just because I don't want too many big ones in a spot or too many of the same size in a spot. And that's why you want a variety of sizes. So that's why I recommend having more than the minimum, I think, is better. A good variety of sizes will help. I think you'll get a cleaner look like this one. As you can see, this one's pretty tight. Just something to keep in mind. If you're doing this pattern, keep track of how long it takes you. I measure how long a project takes me when I'm watching something. Usually I'll be watching an episode of something. If it takes me a whole season to finish something, I'll take note of that. And that'll help you in the future when it comes to pricing. Or just if there's a time crunch, maybe someone needs something in a rush. You now know that it will take you a while. This was about a 6-hour project for me. Time to relax and let the music play. On these letters, I actually used an SS3 rhinestone or 2mm. They were too big, so I actually decided to remove them and size down to a SS3 rhinestone. Get your glasses out, honey, because these are hard to see. And we're almost done. Honestly, truly, I love how this turned out. Thank you so much for watching and be well.